I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Day 4 of trial in the New York Attorney General civil fraud case against Donald Trump was just absolutely devastating for Donald Trump. From an evidence perspective, he took a bloodbath. His own controller, Jeff McConney, testified that Donald Trump was responsible for the statement of financial conditions, that all of the disclaimers pointed to Donald Trump as being ultimately responsible, that Donald Trump's net worth wasn't what he said it is. You had before that the accountant from the Mazars firm, the outside accounting firm, say that Donald Trump engaged in all of these misrepresentations, and you had evidence after evidence just mounting up against Donald Trump. But according to Donald Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, things are going splendid. Things are going great for Donald Trump. Here, watch Donald Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, make a fool of herself on TV.
Well, Alina Habba joins us now. Alina, welcome. Thank you for being here. How's it going? How you feeling?
Very good. Very good. We had a strong day 4. We've had a strong week. Despite the situation that we've been put in this court, which we strongly believe we shouldn't have been in, we've been fighting hard. And I got to tell you, their key witness, came up. He said, frankly, everything I wanted him to say. I heard it perfectly, and I looked over, and I think that we're doing very well, and it's not going to go so well for Letitia James, because at the end of the day, the Trump organization did nothing wrong, and they're using a consumer fraud statute inappropriately against a private business. It's not supposed to happen, and it's a very scary precedent for New Yorkers, I'll tell you that, Greg.
Okay, Donald Trump already lost, too. The judge granted partial summary judgment against Donald Trump. We're in trial for damages now, disgorgement damages, and some other causes of action. It's not going well for you, Alina Habba, and the evidence is overwhelmingly against Donald Trump. His behavior has been utterly outrageous. He had to have a gag order imposed on him because he kept on attacking the judge. He attacked the judge's law clerk. He attacked the prosecutor. He had a temper tantrum and then left. He couldn't even spend 3 full days at the trial, even though he represented to the federal judge in the Michael Cohen case, a case that Trump had to dismiss, that Trump was going to be there each and every day of the New York Attorney General case. It's utterly disastrous for Donald Trump. But not only is the evidence against him, not only is it obvious that he engaged in fraud, Alina Habba and his lawyers are just the absolute worst. They're failure of lawyers. That was an expression. You get the lawyers you deserve. And it was okay, after partial summary judgment was granted against Donald Trump and the court ordered the dissolution of the Trump organizations, Donald Trump's lawyers didn't file a motion to stay the trial until 5 days into the trial. That's the most incompetent thing you can do. You file a motion to stay immediately. It's like Law 101. And then Donald Trump's lawyers argue, we wanted a jury trial. And then it's okay, well, you didn't check the box for a jury trial. And their argument is, well, the New York Code section doesn't allow for a jury trial. Okay, assume you're right about that, which I disagree with, because whenever you get to disgorgement monetary damages, you're usually entitled to a jury trial when it comes to monetary damages. I get for injunctive relief, maybe not, but already summary judgment was found against you, so it didn't require a jury trial because there were undisputed facts of the fraud, so it didn't even have to get to the level of a jury trial. Number 2, Donald Trump's appeared before juries before, or should I say Alina Habba has. Donald Trump's been too scared to. The Manhattan District Attorney case, jury trial, Trump lost. E. Jean Carroll, jury trial, Trump didn't show up, too cowardly, Trump lost. You had the 4 grand juries in 4 separate jurisdictions indicting Donald Trump. So he doesn't exactly do well in front of juries. But why wouldn't you at least put demand for jury trial, argue for it in pleadings before And then you could whine and complain if it was a motion to strike was granted on the jury trial. So, again, these lawyers are I wouldn't even say the C team. This is like the F team. They have no clue what they're doing. And then they go on TV like that and gaslight and say, oh, things are going great. Things are going great here. And they aren't. And as per usual, the economy was also a huge topic for the day. And why wouldn't it be? It's changing faster than ever and demanding we all adapt to keep up. In fact, a stunning survey revealed that over half of Americans making six figures now live paycheck to paycheck. Now, even though Goldman Sachs is saying the classic investments are headed nowhere for the rest of the year, other markets are rising to fill that gap, creating incredible opportunity among the chaos. Because even if conventional markets flatline this year, other assets don't have to do the same. That's why I'm excited to introduce our next partner, Masterworks. I actually spent a lot of time digging into this, and according to a recent report by Citibank, the asset with the lowest correlation to the stock market of any major asset class was art. It turns out contemporary art prices have outpaced the S&P 500's return for the last 26 years by 131%. Now, this market used to be hard to get into, but Masterworks is the platform that lets you invest in multi-million-dollar paintings without breaking the bank. Masterworks has built an impressive track record of 15 exits, all of them profitable. These numbers speak for themselves. Now, with those kind of results, Masterworks offerings have actually sold out in minutes before. So there is a wait list. Now, although I have invested, and as with any investment, past performance is not indicative of future returns, and exited investments are not representative of performance for artworks not yet sold. But I reached out to them to give you all VIP access to their latest offerings. To skip the wait list, head over to masterworks.art/MeidasTouch to skip that wait list, or just click the link in the description of the episode below. That's masterworks.art/MeidasTouch, masterworks.art/MeidasTouch, or just click the link in the description of this episode below. That's masterworks.art/MeidasTouch. And here's what's to come if you're following this. I mean, do you think Trump's going to testify? I think Trump's too cowardly. I don't think he's going to show up. I think he's just going to whine and invoke the fifth. I mean, I think he's too cowardly to go back into that courtroom and testify. It's going to be humiliating for him. He knows it. But here, this is what we could look forward to. Here's Donald Trump saying that he doesn't know generally accepted accounting principles, but that's for his CFO, Alan Weisselberg. Play this clip.
To meet your obligation here of presenting the information in accordance with GAAP, was Alan Weisselberg responsible for that?
Object to the form.
I would say yes.
Here's Alan Weisselberg, Trump's CFO, saying he's not a CPA, so he doesn't know generally accepted accounting principles. Play the clip.
If I said the phrase GAAP, GAAP, are you familiar with that acronym?
I've heard of that, yes.
Okay. Tell me everything you know about GAAP. What is GAAP?
Generally accepted accounting principles. I don't know what's in GAAP. I never took the CPA exam.
Okay.
And never studied for it. So I don't know all the various components of what GAAP is.
Are there any components you know about what GAAP is?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Here's Eric Trump, who claims that he was the one who was in charge of the Trump organization, but he never reviewed statement of financial conditions, even though Donald Trump said Eric did. Play the clip.
I don't remember a video conference in 2021 talking about the statement of financial condition. Did I mean, maybe you could show me something, but again, I don't think I ever signed a statement of financial condition. I don't, I've done a lot to try and jog my memory, and I simply can't, because I don't think I've ever had any involvement in the statement of financial condition, to the best of my knowledge.
And here's Don Jr. basically getting mocked by the New York Attorney General lawyer, who's like, so you don't know anything about GAAP, do you? And Don Jr. thinks that, like, she's being nice to him, and he's probably such a malignant narcissist that he thinks she's flirting with him, and she's mocking him. And he's like, oh, I don't know anything about generally accepted, other than they're generally accepted. Here, play the clip.
Do you have any familiarity with an acronym GAAP, GAAP?
generally accepted accounting principles, yes.
Okay. How did you become familiar with that acronym?
Probably in Accounting 101 at Wharton.
Okay. What do they teach you about generally accepted accounting principles in Wharton?
Well, I'm not an accountant, but that they are generally accepted.
Anything else?
That's pretty much what I remember from Accounting 101. So.
Have you told me everything you know about GAAP?
Basically. I'm sure I could come up with some creative stuff to kill time, but I'd be doing neither of us a favor in terms of educating ourselves.
So that's what we have to look forward to. We had the outside accountant, the controller testify. We're going to get all of that testimony over the next few weeks. So I think buckle up, folks. This one is going to get very, very, very interesting. And I want to hear your thoughts below. Let me know if you think that Donald Trump is actually going to show up. But again, to attend trial for 3 days, you get a gag order against you. You flee because you're too scared. You have 2 witnesses utterly destroy you. You admit to the underlying fraud by claiming that the properties are more valuable than what you valued them at to pay less property taxes. I can't imagine it going much worse, but that's MAGA world for you, where up is down and down is up, and everybody in their world wants to buy into whatever their cultish Kim Jong-un style narratives are. But we can think for ourselves here in this MeidasTouch community. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, and have a great day.
Hey Midas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.